Good evening to our viewers in USA and good morning to our viewers in India. I wish you a very happy Diwali to all of you. I am Krishna Vemuri welcoming you to my show American Affairs, the Election Day Special. Today's elections are historic in a way. They are going to redefine the way America is going to travel in next 30 years. The stakes are too high and the outcome is too exciting. Today the elections are being held for 435 Congress seats, and at present Republicans hold 235 seats while Democrats hold 193 seats in the House of Representatives. The polls show that 7% lean towards Democrats, and Democrats are all excited about the surveys. Today 35 Senate seats are up for election, including 2 special elections, one in Minnesota and one in Mississippi, of which 26 Democrats are seeking re-election and 8 Republicans are seeking re-election. Currently, the US Senate has 51 Republicans and 49 Democrats, and the polls show that Republicans are going to hold the majority. About the governor races. As on today, there are about 16 Democratic governors and 33 Republican governors and 1 independent governor in USA, and we are awaiting results of 36 gubernatorial races, and we will see what's going to happen tonight. President Trump, Vice President Pence campaigning on one side, President Obama and John Biden, Hillary Clinton and celebrities such as Oprah Winfrey are campaigning on the other side and making the election a suspense thriller. Polls are going to close today at 8 p.m. in their respective states, and excitement is building on now. Ever since President Trump became president, the election, suddenly there is a lot of enthusiasm towards politics in America. Therefore, the turnout is very high, and it is expected to be too huge as shown by the early voting. A staggering 36 million people have voted earlier to today versus 21 million people who voted in the earlier midterm election. Today we are here with John Rhetoric, chairman of Republican organization Woodbridge Township. He migrated to United States of America when he was 15, and ever since he was 18 years old, he was on his own. He has 3 children. He has been exposed to politics very early. That was when in Europe, that was when he was in 15 years old. He became interested in politics in 1960 when JFK has confronted Nikita Khrushchev, the then Soviet Union's Communist Party secretary. He and his family directly experienced the first-hand negative effects of communism, and he feels neither communism nor socialism work for the prosperity of the society. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
And I'm here with Mr. Hemant Bhatt, who is the Republican man for the Middlesex County, and he has been active in Indian community and promoting Republican ideals. Welcome, Hemant.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about these elections and then how you see these elections?
Well, it's very important. Since myself with this 55 years in the United States, that's most midterm election, most important election since I'm over here 55 years. And the reason is because of the President Trump. I think what he started last 2 years ago was accomplished more than ever. But for him to going further, you got to keep on. If he loses the House, they definitely put a brake on the whole what he was doing. They probably will try to pull it back and try to turn it off. But I believe that's what's more important. It was very encouraging today. We went to the polls, a couple of different locations. We had challenges. Everything else was that we found a lot of elderly people, and of course we stay neutral. We don't tell them who we are, what we are, and they let speak first. And they told us they are there for one reason, is because they want to keep it the way it is. They don't want to be good. We don't want to go backwards, and they know, especially the elderly, it's the first time in their lifetime they've made such a advanced economics, the world respect, international of course respect, and of course let's go on forward. And what they think about it, there was before the previous administration was that there was a guilty thing put on America. Why do we have to be number one? Well, somebody has to be number one. And I think the way people do, most of us are immigrants, like myself, all of you over here, we're immigrants. And I think we all know that that's the only country in the world that lets us be what we are, like for example, right here tonight. And let's keep it the way it is. Why go backwards? There's nothing wrong to be number one. You know why? Very simple. I go to Europe, and that's why is America so strong? I said, because you're all minorities. And they looked at me like I'm crazy. I said, we're all minorities. This is what made America what it is today, people like ourselves. And I think Donald Trump is, for example, even his ancestors there from Europe, but that's what it is. We got a good thing going since President Reagan. Every 30 years, John F. Kennedy was my lifetime, then Reagan came 30 years later, and now Trump comes 30 years later. Let's move it on. I guess like going to space, you got to readjust a gyro to make a correction. This is a correction that Trump did in 2 years. You know, I came in over here, people laughing at us because they were killing our Navy people in Panama because we were nobody. We were big bullies. Then of course, Reagan came up, he gave us respect, turned the wall down. Now Trump is doing what he did, what he promised is doing it, and people like it. I'm sorry to like it. And at the opposite side, they don't agree with it because I think that's, you know, they never could believe it could happen, but he did it.
Yeah. I know that you are a Republican, but I ask you the question, why do you think the election is important to both the parties, Hemant?
Yeah, let me tell you this. First of all, you very rightly said that this election is very crucial and critical. And in the history of America, this kind of election has never popped up earlier. And I believe that both the parties are very much eager to make sure that they continue into the power. Like Republican Party is in power right now. They hold the House, they hold the Senate, and President is also Republican. Democrats have lost this majority in the last election, so they are trying to regain the majority in the Congress. Now, let me tell you this. The election is very important for Republican Party because they want to continue what they are doing. They want to go to the progress path. They want to continue the economy to soar. They want to reduce the unemployment to be at the zero level, at the lowest level. They would like to make sure that the American people are given chance first compared to the other people, and America first is their logo, is their slogan. Now, as far as the Democrats are concerned, they are trying to understand that why they lost the election in 2016. They are also trying to understand that why people have not voted for us in the 2016 and voted for Mr. Trump. Because America is a very progressive and advanced country. And in this situation, I personally believe that today is very crucial election day, and I am hoping that Republican not only maintain the majority in Congress, they are in any case, as per the recent polls, they are going to control the majority in Senate.
Thank you. John, the question is to you. The ex-President Obama has been on the campaign trail and then directly hitting the current President Trump. It was never heard in the history of America, an ex-president hitting directly on his successor. So what is the reason for Obama to do so?
Because they're desperate. When the President Bush, as a matter of fact, I was a couple of his presidents before, I don't think President, in my knowledge, ever would interfere with what you call a president to do something like that. And you can see him on TV, he's desperate. He's screaming, he's yelling. It doesn't make sense, not to me anyway. That's a very low class of him to do what he does. I mean, nobody kissed the Queen's ring except he did. So let's face it, we got a president that stands up for America, American people, and all of us, not just anybody in the United States legally, he stands for it. Myself, coming from a communist country, I know what it meant. We are afraid of bad people, period. We will prosecute there, we will prosecute over here. And what it stands for, President Obama should just stay there, retire like President Bush does, write a book, and go to his museum. Because they are desperate. Because it's very important.
See, basically, I am personally not feeling this is a good situation because, as you very rightly said, Democrats are now very desperate. And number two is, it has never happened in the history of America that the immediate past ex-president speaks about or criticizing the current successor president. And this is giving a very wrong message in the political circle. Now, having said this, as you very rightly said, that the Democrats are desperate. They would like to make sure that, because he was a president earlier, there are a lot of black votes and other votes which are following President Barack Obama. So they are feeling. And number two is that there are no one at this present time in Democrats who can influence the crowds of the voters. At this point of time, Hillary is not elected. Obama is the past president. Bernie Sanders is also not elected. I mean, he also lost the primary. Now, if you see, I don't see anyone promising in America who can influence the Democrat voters. And having said that, let me tell you one more thing. Democrats are all the time hunger for power. And there is no, I don't understand why they are hungry for power. If the President Trump is managing the country, let him manage the country. The people have voted for him. And if the people have voted for him, let him run the country. You already run the country for 8 years. Now people have given chance to run Mr. Trump to run the country. And let me tell you again one thing. He maintained and kept all the promises he made. He has done something very extraordinary for America within 2 years. And I am very confident that when the economy is soaring, when the stock market is soaring, when the jobs are really coming up so much in numbers, he is definitely going to be president in 2022.
Do you think that Democratic Party is feeling a vacuum of leadership at the moment, John?
Yeah, I think personally they don't have a policies.
Mm-hmm.
This is a future of the world. We are the future of the world. They don't have the all ideas. They're looking for every little thing, negative things. Frank talks too much. He tweets too much. This and that. It's nothing to do with the individual. What would happen if Trump is, has no one arm, no one leg, or is a cripple? They will still make fun of him. Mm-hmm. He's doing a great job. Mm-hmm. Personally, myself, I never expected the man could do something in such a short time. Mm-hmm. And like President Reagan said, if I only can do 80% of the success, it's a plus. Mm-hmm. And I think Trump did much better than that. So I think the Democrats are in fear because people are walking away from them. Mm-hmm. Because what else do we want except we have to work? Mm-hmm. Everything else is already in front of us. There's no bad times coming up. We got to go to work. Maybe they don't want to go to work. They get paid not working like that before. I'm sorry, there's no nepotism no more. The jobs are there. Future is there. Go and get it. And this is what the Democrats are afraid of, because I think we are the best ever in the history of the United States that we are this nowadays. Okay. And we got to respect because of Trump.
Let me add what he is telling, that Democrats have no agenda except to criticize President Trump, except to obstruct what he is doing, and they are trying to make sure that Trump is looking bad in the public eye, but that is not most of the American mainstream media, mainstream people, the undercurrent in the Americans, they all love Trump and they vote for President Trump.
Yes. Thank you, John. I have a question for you. Let's say we have discussed about the three outcomes in this election. One, President Trump winning back the House as well as the Senate, and President Trump winning only the Senate, and President Trump losing both the things. In three situations, what do you think the course of America will be?
Personally, Republicans will never demonstrate like Democrats do. What I'm afraid of, if Democrats win, they're going to get the thing up there, and try to be more aggressive, more violation, more demonstration. They want to run. Personally, it would put brakes on the economy. It would put brakes on all the progress this is made in the future. So not as bad as the Senate is the most important, because we need 60% of the 60% to make any kind of major things. But the Congress is one definitely would hurt our progress. What Trump is going to do, not just our, in the worldwide. If you look at it, is the world situation. People look up to us, and of course, if he kind of put something negative in our country, we're not united. Like Democrats don't want to be united. He's going to put a brake on all negotiation with like Pakistan, like all the other countries. We're going to have problems. That we're going to have problems because they're going to take us seriously. Let's wait another 2 years, like before when Obama was there. He says, well, we're going to pull our troops in such and such a time. So whatever all the enemy went on vacation, and then when 2 years come up, they hit us and they want back whatever they lost in a couple of weeks. So it definitely is going to hurt the future of the United States. Why break something that's not broken?
Exactly.
Okay. Your opinion, Hemant.
Okay, well, he very rightly said that we will be derailed. We are already on the progress path. Our economy is doing great. Our GDP is more than 4.2 points. And if something happens which will not allow President Trump to execute the agenda and execute the official business what he already promised to the Americans, we are going to be really very confused nation in time to come. And number two is a lot of people around the world who are looking at America as the leader, they may lose hope from the America, because they will not be sure, they will not be confident that now what will happen in future if the Trump loses House and if Trump loses Senate. But according to me, I am very optimistic. He is going to keep the Senate. The polls say that he may add the 7 seats of the Republican Party in the Senate. And there may be some losses of the congressional seat. But now, looking to the recent campaign trail, what Mr. President Trump did, and what he has gone to the different places in the different states, I think they may add the congressional seats in the Congress.
Okay. Let us come to an important thing. Like if Trump loses the both House as well as Senate,
Right.
The Nancy Pelosi's and then Chuck Schumer's, are they going to move for impeaching President Trump?
For what?
Well,
I'm just asking a question because they have been asking impeach.
Excuse me, they're going to try to do anything except build a country. Whatever the news is, if they're going to, that's what it is. It's it's a backward society what they try to do. Those days are gone. This is not Vietnam. We don't know problem people war. We don't problem. We're in peace.
Yes.
We are going. We got everything. Everything is going up and up. Why go backwards? Why go? It's okay to burn the gas stations, burn to throw dinner. People say that's a third world country. So this, come and grow up, will you? This is what a problem with the Democratic Party. They're going backwards instead of forward because they're afraid to make a challenges. They're afraid to go to the Mars. They're afraid to go to the moon. They're afraid to, because they want somebody else to do it. They find, wow, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, did wrong. Listen, it would be sad time for the United States if the people let it allowed happen. And I think it's going to happen tonight.
Right.
And let me add just one thing here, that there is no crime committed by President Trump. That he has not done anything. What Russia probe and whatever you're listening in the media and all that, you have not heard anything. There are no evidences. There are no evidences in the mainstream media. They just keep on talking. Allegation. Nothing is proved. Now in this situation, according to me, if they try to impeach President Trump, they will lose more votes of the Americans.
Okay. Why Trump is not campaigning upon his success of economy, and why he is only concentrating on illegal immigration now? Is there any specific reason?
People, economy speaks for itself. It is not a bragging guy. You know, he used to say he's rich. You know, there's 700 billionaires in the United States, so nothing new to be rich. This is most important thing to us. Because myself, I was invited to Middlesex County over here because I'm immigrant, and they told I'm going to speak in favor of the immigrants. And they want me immigrant in New Jersey, Middlesex County, in what you call sanctuary city, sanctuary county. What's an immigrant? Immigrant is a person that comes illegally with the papers. Illegal is somebody comes illegally to the United States. Now, when I came up, I tried to get my papers at 12, but it took me 3 years to come from old Yugoslavia. 3 years, and I was only a child, 15 years old. We want to know who's coming here. We know when I came here, I saw same communists that were killing us over there. They were over here worshipped by the Democrats at that time. We want to know who's coming. We welcome anybody. But if I can walk at 12 years old, 3 years old, my mother was here already, why can't they wake and say, let's get together and we're going to march across the border? If we cannot protect our border, we're not nation.
Obviously.
If we let 5,000 people come up and they succeed, next time it's going to be 50,000. They're going to be 100,000. Let's go to America. Play somebody under the table, which they do. This is not a poor people in Guatemala or anybody. They're paying some. It's all human trafficking. And who's among those people that bad people? They don't have to be, like my daughter works State Department. They don't tell you there's a 20% of the 30% of girls are raped before they come here. 10% of 20% of boys are raped before they come here. Now, this is what's going on. This is not just nice people, so most are probably nice, but it's a bad one. It's, you know, like you go to parade, there's a people just join in. Who do we know? Let's find out who they are. What's the rush? And don't tell me you come to the United States because you prosecute your own country and you carry your country's flag over here. Honduras and Guatemala is where it is. Why don't you carry American flag when you come here? And we gonna let them come into the United States with their own flag, and that's the country they prosecute them. If those people want their country, they should turn around and start to fight for their country and overthrow the government because of there's injustice. But we have to know that good people, and believe me, this country was built by immigrants.
Okay.
And that's why we need more people like that, because we do need more people, but good people. And this is, we don't know who they are, and let's stop them.
Obama, I think in one of the campaign trails in Georgia, he was claiming that prosperity or the economic success belongs to him. And then Trump, obviously, he says that economy is prospering because of him. Who should be given credit to Hemant?
Okay, let me tell you this. First of all, there was a zero rate of interest economy in the time of Obama. Economy was artificially maintained. And I personally observed that when there was any kind of proposal to increase the rate of interest by the Federal Reserve, the stock market was going down. So that economy was not at all good at all, number one. Number two is there were so many people on the food stamps, there were so many people on the welfare, and unemployment rate was very high. Now, having said that, first of all, let me tell you this. Obama is accepting the fact that there is a economic growth. So that is a good news, because he accepts that there is economy is good.
Okay.
Number one. Number two is if he said that he started something, all right, but he started something and then President Trump has done something. That's why the economy has grown. The GDP is 4.2% and like that. But let me tell you this: the stock market, when the Obama retired relieved the office as a president, it was 16,000. Dow Jones was 16,000, about 16,000. Today it is already gone to almost like 27,000, 28,000. Nasdaq was the record. The Russell 2000 was really at the great numbers. S&P 500 was also really great. And right now there is some correction is going on, but the economy is overheated right now, and that is why the Federal Reserve is trying to increase the rate of interest in America. But the Barack Obama has no right to take the credit about this economy. Whatever is done by President Trump. He reduced the taxes. He has already made the policy in such a way that a lot of money which are parked overseas, the monies are coming back, and the employment is generated so high. He has controlled illegal immigration. My own son tells me that I was not getting the job opportunity what I used to be having earlier. Now I am getting so many offers from the companies. The reason, because like people who were coming outside and taking the jobs of American children and American people, now those jobs are offered to the American people.
Sure, but shouldn't we be giving some credit to Obama, who turned around the economy when the economy went into recession? John?
Economy went recession for a lot of different things. Don't forget the 9/11. I think there was you could say there was a war in the United States, because we had a war every 20 years in Europe. The United States never had a war since the Civil War. But what happened? What Trump did it. It's not the government that makes the economy. It's a private enterprise. Those people saw the green light, manufacturing jobs, which is booming. Nobody thought they will come back. Listen, this is industrial country, this industrial nation. We can do it. But just let us be, and let's see the view of the future, what we're doing. They're not going to build a new steel mill if the guys will close it up tomorrow. What Trump did was all those green stuff, they talk about pollution, all the stuff relaxed the economy. You're not supposed to drill here for oil, not supposed to drill there for oil. Come on, will you? You can drink in the Gulf of Mexico, whatever, but you cannot drink in New Jersey. Or you can do this, but not you can do in Canada. He gave the people green light. He stopped all those nonsense with Obama, put all those restrictions for this and this and this. Let's stop. Manufacturers saw the opportunities, and that's what's driving the economy. It's not the government. It's a private enterprise. And because of Trump, they say, okay, guys, let's do it. And they're doing it. And, of course, money is coming back because it's a good-paying jobs now. And made in America is very important.
Let me add, what John is very right. Second thing is he has passed so many executive orders. He deregulated the business. But in the previous administration, there was so much regulation over the business. The businesses they are not able to breathe properly and do what they wanted to do. So the economy is thriving, the employment is good, the jobs are coming back. In fact, at one stage, Obama said in the previous, how Mr. Trump can bring back the jobs, or how can this is possible? There is no magic wand. But the President Trump proved that he not only has a magic wand by executing different policies, and he has deregulated the business great way, and that's how the business is flourishing.
Thank you.
And one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
What I see with Trump, how could he go to a major corporation in the world and stood up to them and make a deal? And they listen. That's most important. They don't take him for that like Obama did. Make it, he said this, whatever it is, and that's what it is. They know it means business. The whole world knows it means business. We all know what's happened, the sanctions of this on the world, because they know they're raping us. But nobody stood up except Trump.
Don't you think because of the policies of Trump that America is going to lose the tag of leader of the free world? Because at some point of time, people say America is getting aloof from the other nations.
Getting what?
Getting away from other nations.
Well, I don't know. But listen, personally, my son probably said to me the best. It's a giant. We're only 5% of the world population, and we are 50% of the world, just about 50% of the world's wealth. Of course, like I said before, somebody has to be number one. Who's going to be number one if we are not? But to be the most generous people, why not us? We can do it. Who else can take our place? And I tell you, I would definitely now give our Russians be number place, give into it. We can do, we know how to do, why not? And now we can do it. We know we can do it, we're doing it. We're going to be the biggest military, we're going to biggest economy, we are number one in the world, I think the more number fifth and sixth, like Western Europe, in 2 years. And we can go, there's no limit what we can do. So let's not take be guilty because we're succeeding.
Okay.
Because we are succeeding because we are working.
Thank you. We'll go to the next and then most dearest question or part of this discussion being immigration, which is more dearest to Indians. Like if Trump gains majority and then in House as well as Senate, how the situation of legal immigrants, like we talk about the people who come on temporary legal aliens, and then of course illegal immigrants, we know what he is going to do. So throw some light of what knowledge you have about how he is going to deal with legal immigrants.
See,
legal aliens, let me put it as legal aliens.
Let me tell you this. Donald Trump never said that he wants to control immigration. Donald Trump all the time encouraged the immigration of merit-based immigration. We want good people in this country. This country is already at some stage, and we cannot run this country, or we will not be in a position to do what we want to do if we don't allow the merit-based immigration. So he is absolutely for the merit-based immigration. That is number one. Number two, what is all about is against the illegal immigration. But he said that come to this country legally. We definitely welcome you. We want you here, but don't come from the border, the back door, and then you just come and stay here. Now, as far as his approach to the immigration is concerned, I am very confident, and he knows, he is a businessman, he knows how to run the business, he knows how to run this country, so he will definitely encourage the legal immigration which is merit based, and people who wants to come to this country and contribute to the national economy, he will definitely going to promote them to come here. And having said this, I mean, lot of my friends in India and others here, they are also trying to ask me a question that there is a lot of backlog of the green cards in the Trump administration. But this backlog is not of today. This backlog is coming from a long time. In fact, this president tried to expedite, and I understand that that they are trying to do everything possible to clear the green cards, or to clear the legal immigration people who have valid applications, who do not have any kind of objections by the immigration department. And I believe that the process is very fast. They have done it. So I think I'm very hopeful that legal immigration will not have any issue whatsoever in the Trump administration.
Can I get into it? I think if you have a bad economy, of course you slow down like anything else. If you don't sell enough, you don't buy enough. Same thing with immigration. But I think because we are such a suppressed, we need so much, we retire 100,000 engineers a year. We only graduate 40,000. We need people with knowledge. We need people that's going to work here because the economy is growing. We need those people who feel like nobody's going to stop those people from coming. Only thing is respect the law. If you come a 6 months visa, you go back. Go for a day. You come. I used to went to China. I went to Hong Kong. I had to go 1 day to Macau to stamp my passport, and I come back again for another month. But those people don't do it, and they're calling me illegal. Why are they hiding? So good people always will come, always be welcome to come. But I don't think we can bring illegal people. They talk about the building the wall. Every country's got a war. Now you got a $12 million wall. You got to cost $127 billion to keep illegal people here a year. Listen, they're a burden on the society. But most important, if you just feed them, they say put, but they do crime. And that's why we do it. It's disrespect to the United States. If you let it, we got everything else. But they're abusing us. That's what I'm immigrant myself. It's not fair. You come here to bring down America because this is our home now. And we know what could come from there, not just good people, the bad people, more than American people. They're not aware of it. I call it like Europe. When the Syrians came up, I went to Europe and I said, watch it, it's a Trojan horse. Once when they get there from the back, how do you get them out? And this is what happened to Germany, happened to Sweden, those countries. We have to know those people that come. But again, for good people, like you people came, educated people, they're always going to be welcome to come, welcome people. Nobody's going to stop them. Because we need them.
I have a question that the Democrats have been complaining. Yeah. Okay, we will take this up later, and then I would like you to have some closing remarks about this elections, Democratic Party and then Republican Party, Hemanji.
Okay, thank you, Krishnaji. See, this is the next. Thank you so much to you and Sridhar for giving us an excellent opportunity today. The important thing is, according to me, this election was very important for both of them. Both of them tried to steal the, they wanted to make sure that the base of Democrats, the base of the Republican people, they come out and go and vote. And as far as the election results are concerned, I'm very optimistic about the Republican Party maintaining the majority in House and in the House and the Senate. And if that happens, then this country, according to me...
Okay, can I have your closing remarks for about 10 seconds?
Thank you for having us over here. Again, what we need now is so important, because if we don't get it now, the problem I see with the Democrats is they never got over the 2016 election. They're still crying. Let them cry. Because
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are out of time. Thank you very much for viewing the show, and then keep watching us on American Affairs soon in the next show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.